can start. Let's welcome our next speaker. It's Tomasz Gambuś from Game Desire.
Hello everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today with you, with the people from the best industry ever. My name is Tomasz, or Tomas if you are English-speaking guests, and I am from Game Desire company, as my previous speaker, Maciej. And in a nutshell, we make mobile games, also web games. What I want to tell you about today are ASO, which means App Store Optimization. Mobile marketing is quite new branch of online marketing, which I'm in since over 15 years, since high school, and it was changing very often and a lot. Okay, after this short introduction, let's start with the things I want to tell you about today. How the big picture looks like at this moment. Today we have over 2 and 8.8 million apps in Google Play. In app stores, there are around 600,000 less apps, which means also a lot. For great amount of developers, the situation means a real massacre. Because at the top of charts, there is a real battle between developers to reach the best top 10, top 20 places in ranks. It's not an easy and comfortable situation for many people, for many developers, because the space is limited, the number of players is rising, which means you have to be really good at not only SEO, but also in making your apps or games. Because when we have this kind of situation on the market, you have to know one thing. If you want to dig into SEO, you have to produce outstanding game in your category. So you can be poor or under average, because in this case, SEO won't help you in nothing. You can also create a new category or niche by proposing new game physics, new gameplay, something that wasn't before, that nobody before you introduced into the market. Or you can also offer a better value than your competitors, which is quite easy to copy, but it can give you some extra points to gain attraction, to gain more downloads. So to summarize the slide, if you are not sure that your app is the best on the world, but not by your own opinion, but in opinion of users which gives you reviews, don't do SEO, don't spend money on SEO, because you probably lose your time and money. What is SEO about? It covers two main topics. The first one is to improve conversion on your site. That's the easy part, because making new icon, to make new screenshot or video, it's something that you can work on, you can do it better and better, test it, improve it by your own. It's not so complicated, and it's worth to do, because when you have paid campaigns, when you launch paid campaigns, it can improve this campaign's performance, which means better conversion, it's a lower cost per new user acquisition. But what is the clue of SEO is to improve visibility. Visibility is how often users can find your apps at the top of the charts. And it's really hard and difficult part of ASO. And today I will focus mainly on this area, because that can give you real advantage. But this both sides of SEO, improving visibility and improving conversions, have one main goal: just to improve your apps and drive you more installs, more users. Why it's so important today? Because paid activities like paid user acquisition in Google AdWords, in Facebook, in Chartboost, or in every other advertising network is getting more and more expensive. I have data from Fixu from December last year, and as you can see, a loyal user costed around over $3 for Android systems and over $4 for iOS users. Who is loyal user? This is user who played or opened your app at least 3 times. So you can compare how much it costs to acquire 10,000, 100,000 users and how extra benefits you can gain in long term investing this money in ASO, because the leverage can be completely different. Okay, so if keywords are so important, let's focus on keywords. But the picture is not so beautiful as it could be, because over half of users' queries in Google Play or in App Store searches are about branded keywords, branded products, like Candy Crush Saga or Candy, or whatever else. So, in fact, we have only half queries, which are generic queries, we can fight for. But it's still a huge number of possible users. What is said, the top 10 most popular queries from users are queries about branded products, which they know, which they heard about, which is a result of many other PR or marketing activities. It's not a part of SEO, but part of PR. But somehow you have to gain popularity and gain new fame. So let's do it. To be successful in ASO, you have to know some secrets. Some people claim that they know what is algorithm of Google works. But is it true? Not really. We can guess, we can make experiments, we can observe results. And based off experience of myself and many other people who handle with ASO, we have some suspicions what can work and what doesn't. What is the most important ranking factor in ASO activities, both in App Store and in Google Play, are app installations, which means you can optimize your keywords, you can optimize your assets, you can make a lot of marketing activities, but something that can boost you up to rankings are installations. That's a problem, but it's also a chance for you, but about it I will tell you for a while. The second most important factor is number of rates and reviews. It is quite obvious, because when you will see another chart, another research, this is the most important factor people take into consideration when install new app. So Google also take it as a very important factor. After these both factors, which are installations and reviews and rates, we have retention and engagement. This is a new ranking factor which was introduced by Google on February this year. And before this, it was quite easier to manipulate this result. But now it's much more difficult, because since February, Google also take into consideration retention, bounce rate, as well as number of session and session length, comparing it to your direct competitors. And it's only up to Google Play. In App Store, it's still something you can manipulate, because App Store they don't look at this factor, which means you can cheat a little bit, which is not good, but it works still. But it's not only about the number of installations. When you buy, for example, 10,000 installations a day, it can boost you for a while. the most important is the dynamic. If you have today 10 installations, tomorrow 20, 3 days 50, after 2 weeks 100 and rising, which means that your app is gaining popularity, which is more natural from Google perspective than boosting 10,000, 100,000 installs within a very short period, which is taken into consideration as a fraud as a fraud from the Google Play or App Store developer. And the last but not least factor is the average rate for the app. And when you look at the bunch of the factors, you will understand what is Google interest. They want to deliver users the best possible experience, to attach them to their brand, to their products, and it's obvious that they have to deliver good quality apps. Because, for example, you are looking for soccer app, and when you download the first one, which is poor, the second one is worse, the third one is nothing better, after some attempts, you will just drop it and resign from downloading new apps. And it's not good for Google business. But you can ask me, where are keyword optimization among these factors? This is somewhere between. This is not the most important thing, but it's something that can help you. If you can deliver good quality app, engaging app, it's impossible to get huge impact of App Store optimization. So let's talk a little bit about keywords. How does it work? Let's say that I'm a user who wants to play a zombie game. I don't know why. I was watching Walking Dead last night and I think, why not to play a zombie game? So I'm looking for a zombie, typing in zombie keyword in a search, play enter, and I see a bunch of results around 200, 300, 400 apps. Okay, they have nice icon, so I'll try them. If I open this landing page, Google thinks, okay, this app is relevant to this query, to this term, to this keyword. So we give them a small point. Then, reading a description, looking at assets like screenshot and video ad, I think, oh, it can be a nice game, so why not to download it? I push download, waiting for a while, have it on my mobile phone. Google see that he's interested in this, so it's really relevant to his query. We give them another one small point. And I find this game really entertaining, so I play today, tomorrow, after a week. So I not escape from the game, the retention is good, so Google give me another small point. Therefore, I can assess that my app will jump a little bit higher after this one user in ranking for this keyword. But what about the other keywords like time killer or paranoid game or something else? No, because you can get ranked for a given keyword. If you have a lot in installation for zombie keyword, you will be on top one on zombie, but you can be the last one on other keywords if you don't have installation on it. So the relevance is the key, because if you want to, let's say, dismiss your user by using different keywords than your game is about, he won't install your app, or he will delay your app after a while, which push you down in rank for this given keyword. So relevance is a key. But you don't have to be so serious. You don't have to pick only the most relevant keywords to your app. You can be more creative, but about it for a while. I want to spend too much time on talking about how to choose the best keyword for your app, but you have to remember about 3 factors. The first one is relevance. I was talking about this. So don't make your users, players fool. Just be sincere and tell directly from the very beginning what your app is about. Very popular, very good keywords are these with high search volume, which means people very often type it into search field in Google Play or App Store. And when you are beginners at on this field and you have new app, rather choose keywords which are rather moderate, which have moderate competitiveness, because you have to earn some reputation to fight for this high volume and competitive keywords. And how to check it? There are a lot of tools like App like Mobile Action, Sensor Tower, and many more, which tell you exactly how complicated it is to rank for this keyword, how big potential has this keyword, and whether you should use it or not. So it's worth to use it. Some of them are free, like App, but you have very small number of keywords you can check for free. Very good price have Mobile Action, which I can recommend to you, because it's really good value for this price they demand. And after checking a lot of keywords, you should choose this which are best possible for you. And I said you can be creative. For example, there's a guy whose name is Dan Bilzerian. He is very famous because he like epic parties. He like champagne, models, girls, swimming pools, yachts, and he's also a poker player. What is surprising, a lot of people looking for Bilzerian keyword in Google Play in App Store. It's quite strange for me, but it happens. So let's look at stats from, let's say, Mobile Action. They say that this is a very popular keyword. You can get some interesting installs from it, and there's very low difficulty because nobody uses this keyword in their description, in their title. So the chance that you will be first, second, and third for this keyword is very high. And what all you need to do just to implement this keyword in your description, short description, or title. But remember about relevance. Dan Bilzerian is a poker player. So if you have poker app, you have casino app, you have party app, you can use it. When you have cooking app, rather not. But maybe when you have a category of drinks, recipes, why not? So it's also important to follow trends, looking for Google Trends, App Store, trending keywords, and looking for niches, looking for chances to be in top 10 apps for this keyword, even for a short time, but it can give you an impact to grow. There is some hacks you can use, especially in App Store, which is around 3 to 5 years behind Google Play in terms of advancement in algorithm of search. When you use English keywords for your English version of your app, like casino, slots, bingo, roulette, etc. So don't copy these keywords again, for example, in Germany, because keywords from English version, which you type in the keyword field, which has 100 characters, is default keywords for every other market. So let's say we have German, France, or for example, Poland. These countries also use English US and English US and English Australia keywords. Also, when you are in Mexico, you can double your number of keywords by using keywords from US and from US Mexico Spanish. It's very useful because it extends the range keyword you can use in your app store. They cut the number of keywords characters you can put in the title, but you can use this trick to extend the number of keywords you can gain visibility for. And don't use keywords like free, like app, like category names, because they are also default, and you're losing your place, valuable place in this field, which can give you some extra installations in App Store. It doesn't work in Google Play, because Google Play is quite intelligent, and he can guess what is your app about based on many different factors, especially on your description. So, in Google Play, when you have your primary keyword, like for example zombie, use this keyword at the beginning of your app name, in your short description, and at least 5 times in your main description, because it's your primary keyword, which is most important for you, which you believe can drive you a lot of traffic for your landing page and gives you a lot of installations. And don't be afraid to change it if it doesn't work. If you are still, after a month or 2 months, at the 100 place or behind the 100, top 100, please change it. Nothing will help you at this moment. And you can have as many secondary keywords as you want, and it's enough just to use it once in the copy, in the description, sometimes twice, and sometimes it's enough, sometimes not. But another hint, Google Play takes into consideration keywords in users' comments. So there is a field to get better relevance and better position if you persuade your players to give comments with a given keyword. Not only ask players, but also other service providers. I'm also engaged in SEO activities. For many years, I was SEO specialist and manager, and we had black hat SEO and white hat SEO. White hat SEO or white hat SEO in terms of mobile marketing are this all practice, we are best practice which are acceptable by Google Play and App Store. Everything which is legal and which is tools or activities you don't use to cheat the system, to cheat your users. And you can boost your installations, which are the most important factor, by pay campaigns, by cooperation with influencers, by marketing activities, by icon and app name optimization, and so on. It's a long process. But you can take a short track. For example, you can buy incentivized installations, which is somewhere in the middle. Maybe for some people it's okay, but frankly speaking, it's not okay because these people are not loyal. So a lot of the installations after installation can make your rankings worse after the campaign than before. But there is interesting service like keyword boosting. So there are companies which you pay amount of money, given amount of money, and they boost your app for a given keyword for a couple of days, couple of weeks, for the first place in App Store, in iOS Store, which is black hat SEO, but it's impossible for this algorithm to check it out. So if you will be cautious and don't push thousands of installations first day, but first day 10, next day 20, 50, and growing, you can boost your app for better places for a given keyword. This is black hat, it's illegal. You can be banned for this kind of activity by Apple. You can also, there's a nice trick like fake in-app payments, which means you put a very expensive item in your app, you buy it, or your friend buy it, and you are top one in top grossing apps in a given country. It still works, but it's still illegal. It's a cheat attempt. You can use misleading names, icons, there's a keyword stuffing, which I don't recommend. But from the SEO manager perspective, a lot of big websites which have thousands of organic traffic use black hat SEO tactics unless they were impossible to detect or they were not penalized by Google. So it really up to you whether you go the dark side or bright side. But if you decide to go dark side, remember, don't do it on your developer account because it can be banned. Some people think that what is not forbidden is allowed, but in fact, it's also up to you. But if there are some things that you can do to outperform your competitors, and if it's quite safe, you have to consider it by yourself. Okay, some sentences, some words about reviews. Why it's so important for Google? Why it's so important for App Store developers? Because as you see on this chart, it's a research from Tune. This is the most important factor which people take into consideration when they decide to install an app or not. It's not so important like description, video, or assets. It's all about opinions and all about reviews. So it's extremely important to deploy features which allows you to get good quality reviews from your users. Here you have black hat and white hat SEO tactics. White hat is only prompting users to give you a comment in your app. So, do you enjoy our app? Leave us a comment, leave us a review. That's the only one legal option to get reviews. If you divide your users asking, do you like our apps? And he said no, so he won't be able to add his or her reviews. It's something like gray hat ASO, which is not allowed, which is not a good tactic. You can be banned. You can get aware from Google Play or App Store. But still, black hat SEO gives you a bunch of opportunities like incentivized reviews, like reviews contest, or it's interesting buying reviews. You can spending 5 cents, you can buy good quality reviews from around the world. It's difficult to detect, especially that these bots are every day smarter and smarter. But you have to be very careful. When you add 100 positive reviews one day, that would be quite strange because people give 5 stars, some give 1 star. And if your app gaining popularity, the reviews also is growing. So when you have 10 downloads, don't add 100 reviews because it's really strange for Google and not only. There's a lot of services around the world. You have to be very careful because a lot of them are not safe. And if someone will offer you that he will boost your app for a given keyword in Google Play for the first place, for the second place, don't trust it and don't follow this way because it's a straight way to be banned by Google. But it still works for Google, for App Store. How you can distinguish yourself? You can use emoji, very popular at this moment. You can use rich text formatting. I'm very pleased that people do it, and I'm surprised that so little developers use these tactics because it can boost your conversion around 15%, which is a nice number. You can use emoji in title, in description, in short description, on feature list, and you can use bold, italics, underline, headers in your description. So, for example, you are on a blog. You have a big block of text. Would you read it? Not really. But you have beautiful blog with headers, with short accompanies, with bolded important features or information. Your experience is better. So it's a great chance that you go through to the down of the description or the article. So do it. Prepare a good quality description using formatting. And if within a month or two there will be a new feature which will allow you to distinguish yourself, your app, among other developers, please do it because it can give you a competitive advance, maybe for a short time, but always, even short time can give you extra installations, and extra installations can give you better ranks. And there is a big myth about backlinks to app. If you are familiar with CAO tactics, you know that backlinks to your website is the most important ranking factor, which means a lot of other good quality website links to you, you get better position in search results. For example, online game, we have online game website and millions of other websites linked to you, is probably will be the first on the first place for this keyword. And some people believe that the same tactic works in Google Play, because for sure it doesn't work for App Store because they don't take this into consideration, as I said, because they don't index websites. Google does, and there is a suspicion that it can be important factor in getting better ranks. And of course, there is a correlation between the number of backlinks to your app's Google Play landing page and your position. But when you have popular app, people play this game, write reviews, write blog posts, write comments, so you get these links in a natural way. So if you are a popular developer, you have a lot of links to your app, but if you are not a popular developer and you buy a lot of links to your Google Play landing page of your app, you won't boost your rankings. So in my opinion, it doesn't work. You can meet some ASO specialists, which we say that it works, but consider the price. These links cost around up to $200 per one link. Is it worth? Especially that it's not proven tactic. It's up to you, but I wouldn't go this path. And the main question is when you should start on your ASO strategy for your app. From my perspective, from game design perspective, as soon as possible, which means before you start prototyping your new game. Why? Because there are tools like Uptiming, like Sensor Tower or App Annie, which allows you to check the market. How much your competitors earn money? How many installs you need to be in the top 10 list? How much money you can earn on ads? On which market you should focus with localization efforts? All this information you can get from these tools, which some are expensive, some not. Uptiming has good quality data for a very decent price. So if you don't have big budget, try use it because it's really worth. You can see for a given app which you'll choose how much they earn, how much downloads they have. It's divided into markets. So it's a very useful tool to take decision. Do we spend our time on this project or we should drop it at this moment? You can also check how does it look in terms of retention. So what's the retention in your strongest competitor and what's average retention in your category. You can also check demography like sex or your players or their gender or their age. And you can check all the reviews they left on competitors under competitor apps, which means you know what's the feature they enjoy most, what they are annoying about in this app. So you have this advantage, you know which mistakes to avoid developing your app. And my final word to you is one advice. It may seem to be complicated. This ASO, all the knowledge you need to have, all the tools you have to buy and learn how to use it. But in fact, it's not so difficult as it looks like. All the knowledge I showed you today is accessible for free, available for free in the internet. So I compared the time I spent to learn all of this and time and money ASO agencies wanted for this kind of services. And my one advice, try to do it in-house by yourself, because I bet you won't get better results. You rather won't get worse results. In the worst scenario, the same. And you can spend this money for good quality assets, for extra services, and you should have someone who would advise you, like advisor, someone who is experience in this category, but you don't need service outside. If you have graphic designer, if you have marketing specialist, it's really enough to do ASO in-house, which is really profitable, and you have competence, you have knowledge and know-how in your company, which save you money, nerves, and time. If you have any question, it's the time to ask.
Okay, thank you very much, Tom, for your interesting presentation. Don't forget, if you like the presentation, to rank it. Okay, to rank it in our mobile app, and let's go to questions.
Hi, thank you for a great presentation. I have a question about reviews. There are easy tricks to get more reviews from users, like, for example, block some part of functionality and unlock it for free if user will send you a rate. So do you recommend such behavior in the application, or it could be something that can harm you?
So your question is whether someone can harm us by fake comments?
Yeah, I mean, not really fake, but you are, for example, locking some part of application, and you are saying to user, you can buy this feature, or if you will give me a review, I will unblock this for you.
Okay,
yes,
it's not a good tactic to buy reviews from users, because probably you will be warned by Google Play or App Store. It's not a good tactic, but there is a group of people who loves your app, and for example, in iOS, you can ask a player who like your app 3 times a year for a review. So why not? You can't give anything in exchange for it, but you can select a group of people who really loves your app, who are your advocates, evangelists, and ask them to leave a review. There is nice one tactic. For example, you just ask for a rate, not a review, and if someone gives 5, which means he likes your app, this is a good moment to ask for a review. Maybe not during the same session, but maybe during the next session, after his game, after his session, to leave a review, because the chance he will good review for you is much more higher. And of course, you can buy fake reviews, but do it smart. Don't buy a bunch, 1,000 reviews within one day. Around 1% of people leave reviews under your app, and don't extend this number. And it's almost impossible to detect at this moment.
That was my question, if you could have too many reviews.
If you have too many,
yeah.
If it's natural, you shouldn't be afraid of. But when you have, for example, 1% of people leaves review under your app, and after a week, suddenly 5% of people leaves a review under your app, it's really strange, and you will be observed by Google and iOS.
Thank you.
So do it smart, and if it's natural and the trend is natural, it's okay. But there is a big gap and a big jump between the numbers. It can be strange, because it can be fake. It can be cheating signal for platforms like Google Play.
Thank you.
Other questions, maybe?
I would like to ask about uninstalls. Because you told that it has effect for the position. How we know about it?
Because of experiments which were made in the times when engagement and retention weren't taken into consideration, that installation for a given keyword, for example, you put zombie keyword in search, your app is on the 15th position, and people start install your app from the 15th position for a given keyword, there was a very fast improvement in terms of ranking, of jumping in ranks. So it was made on an experiment way, and it really works, and it still works in iOS because you can easily check it, but you won't check it at this moment in Google Play, because these retention metrics are also important ranking factor. So you can have one-time installations because it can harm you, but answering the question, it was proved on an experiment way, and it's the most important factor at this moment. Because optimizing this one thing give the biggest impact on rankings. You also see it when you make a boost campaigns. You give extra organic traffic because of it, and make an experiment by your own. Try to make a big burst campaign within 1-2 days and look at the effects, and then make a slowly growing campaign giving you extra installation on a given market. So the organic traffic will be higher and you will give it in the longer time, because in a natural way your installation is growing. So for Google, it's a signal that your app is gaining popularity, so you should get better position in ranks. And depending on how relevant your keywords are to your app, for these keywords you will get better rank and more installations. And it's like a circle.
Other questions, maybe?
Hi. What do you think is better, 100 3-star reviews or 10 5-star reviews?
Answering your question, the most important is review. People, if you have 3-star, your average rate is 3-star, many people will drop your app before installing it. But if you have good quality reviews, explaining what is this app about, and it's quite good, people would trust the reviews, not rates. There was a nice research showing how you can improve conversion, jumping from average rating 3 to average rating 5, which is impossible because in a situation you have only one vote. And it was around 400% in terms of number of installations. So the impact is very powerful, but it's better to have good quality reviews, positive reviews, because people look at it and take a decision. Do I want to install it or not? When you have even 500,000 reviews, like, okay, great, nice, nice to play, it won't persuade me to install your app. But when someone will write, it was wonderful app with great graphics and very relaxing music, and it's a great thing to play after a very hard day in my work, trust me that the signal that this app is for me and I want to have it. So rating is important, but you won't fight for the top 10, top 20 places with 3 stars average rate. Rather not. 4 is the minimum.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions actually. So first,
so let's start.
Let's start with what is illegal or what is not correct with the terms of use of the Google Play. Is it actually the buying of the reviews or just suggesting the reviews or asking friends for a review?
Every attempt to influence rankings is illegal. So if you ask your friends or workmates to give a review, it's a cheat attempt, so it's illegal. But it's so difficult to detect, and it's so small scale. Maybe you have 10,000 friends. Okay, that may be tricky and dangerous for your app. But if you have the normal amount of friends, up to 150, which is possible, it's impossible to detect.
Okay,
but
so
answer your question,
sure.
even asking your friends to give you a review, it's a cheat attempt, so it's illegal. So maybe not black hat SEO, but it's gray hat SEO.
Okay, then second, what are the consequences? Is it just banning the application, or is it taking the income?
Your account can be suspended by Google. Google is very strict. For example, App Store can give you awareness before it, can give you a message, don't stop doing it, but Google don't play with it. It's very strict, ban your account, and that's my suggestion. Where if you go, if you want to go follow the dark path, do it on new account which is not connected with your developer account, where you have good quality working apps with good history.
Okay, great, thanks. And the last one, so you say that it wouldn't be wise to get 100 reviews, 100 positive reviews in a day when there are 100 downloads, but then I bet there are some offers to have, like, let's say 1,000 downloads and then a 30 or 50 reviews, and which some of them are 5 stars and some of them are well, fewer stars.
Okay, so every attempt of cheating system is a bad, is a black hat SEO.
But would it work?
If you want to do it, don't buy installs in Google Play, because it doesn't work. But it can harm you, because this is poor quality traffic, like incentivized installations. They have enormous bounce rate, very small retention, so it's bad for your positions. But if you buy, for example, reviews, do it smart. For example, as I said, you have 10 installations a day, don't buy 100 reviews, because it's stupid and it's not natural, it's impossible. So even you buy 100 reviews because you have 10,000 installation day, buy 80% 5 stars, 5% 4 stars, and 1% 1 star, because this just count what is the natural profile of rates for your app, for your category, and try to copy it. Try to be natural, not do something within a short time, but extend it for a trend, for a long term.
Thanks.
Maybe one final question.
Hi, what about using copyrighted keywords like cyberpunk or Tetris?
Copyrighted? It's, as every copyrighted keyword is under legal, this kind of copyrights shouldn't be used, because you can be warned by Google App or App Stores. So because they're copyrighted, so don't use copyrighted. Some of them are not copyrighted. You can check. There are some sites where you can check whether this words, this keyword are copyrighted. If not, you can use it. If yes, don't do it, because it can make you trouble.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tomek.
Thank you.
It was really interesting.